Hello, friends, and welcome to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Last time we attempted to go find the astropathic station. We did finally get an opportunity to arrive there, but we were interrupted by the Bloodspun Web, a death cult living aboard our ship, where we were introduced to a new companion, Cabela, who is also a blade dancer. We will definitely be using her until we get someone new, at which time we will send her back to the ship because we don't need more than one blade dancer. I'm plenty. We also attempted to go to the prison planet because we are looking for Heinrix Von Calox, and we thought the best place to find an Inquisitor might be at the prison planet. But en route, we got interrupted. A officer is unhappy about some decisions that Abelard made about people in the lower decks and how he is handling this situation of what he deemed to be a potential insurrection, but which the other officer claims was merely a misunderstanding, and now Abelard's response has brought things to a head. We are coming down to do our own investigation. I am slightly concerned that Abelard's enthusiasm and his own anger and frustration about what happened with Theodora is potentially causing him to be heavy handed in this situation. So we will evaluate it for ourselves and find out exactly what's going on. So let's get into it. Okay. Hey, it's Rosarian! Take that, scum! Look who it is! This is all his fault! All of it! Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture, and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through the armor-like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. That's grim. Abelard, very, very grim. Did you hear? They were shouting your name. Of course they were. The organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them you are akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less. Whereas I'm just a man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering a bay's heating. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this. Okay, so before we get too deep in here, let's go ahead and level Cabela. I'm sure that it's going to be very, very similar to our own situation here, but we will start with level 5, it looks like. We will pick up Dueling Mastery, which gives us a 15% bonus to parry, and we will also pick up Weapon Skill, because she is just as necessary for her to use her sword. For level 6, we will pick up Blood Oath, which we already have with our character. And then the chosen skill for her will be, I think she already has Medicaid too. She does. So we will continue down that path with her as well. Again, I don't intend to use her, so, it'll be fine. It can be a very near same thing. Okay, we have something to look at here. Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. This must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Interesting. Lower deck rabble. Not very respectful.
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Huge pipes, the arteries of the ship, run through many bays, delivering air, water, heat, and the propulsive force of steam.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I was born in this sector, and it looks like I'll die here too. It does indeed. The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avril Levent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sourback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and is reaching a boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I've given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people authorized to make me stand down: the first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears, Abelard mutters in crabby approval. Crabby approval, good old Abelard. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sourback looming over her, or both. Your lordship! Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute, their subordinates following suit a moment later. I want to speak to the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in Lieutenant Vent's eyes. Okay. I'd love to see how they live on the upper decks, even just once. Sorry, keep working. Work, work, work. Greetings, ye graces. Wow, nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd: an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you've come down to us. Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions and saying what we think. Shut up, ribbit, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for the batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole bays for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of these so-called enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. So Argenta can be a lot, but there is kindness in there somewhere. You just got to get through all of the dogmatic claptrap. It's all true. Vince, the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships with no fellow feeling toward us. The grim man with the scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we're not villains down here. We're honest workers, your servants. We plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say? I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? Well, what's that? The gewgaw they found on that dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone instructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There ain't been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if they was, we'd be the first to report 'em. And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in this sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies, the boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than we do. Walking a thin line there, old Nan. Oh yeah, them boots was really fine, and there was no harm in taking 'em, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need amulets down here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. The same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came down here calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the archenemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, holy sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretic? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Sourback, was it truly necessary to torture these people with cold? The rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they are the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear. Good people, we were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here, like the one that the lieutenant won't let past. Our clans are all inside the bay that's being sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there's some people who've just about had enough. We're getting it from all sides down here. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad just arrived. Well, hell, what are we supposed to do? Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. What changes are you seeking? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers. Quit turning off the heat and stop battering everything that moves. And no, that ain't it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists show their damned faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers in the upper decks, too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed them cultist bodies, and we'll talk to 'em, one lower decker to another. If they's any more of them damned amulets about, we'll hand 'em over to the enforcers our very own selves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They promise us the world now, but as soon as the anointed one turns his back, these brutes gonna be on us harder than ever before. All because we dared speak our minds. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time falls silent, making simply a few vague noises of approval. Spreading anarchy on this ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands, and we will consider the rest. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman. Old Nan, now listen! The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering actual concessions. I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue traitor, let alone talk to him. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old Nan. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that now. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders by my lonesome. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, then just make your peace. That's great. Fantastic. Lord Captain, we are all agreed. Abelard? The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the archenemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they did acquire something of innocence, purely from their own stupidity, that does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and then his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only that innocent pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal-choking vine. So when it comes to scavengers, malcontents, strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple. Give them no quarter. Master-at-arms, where do you stand? Give the rabble a grox, and they'll take an agri world, Lord Captain. They only understand brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. Then it's decided. The persecution will stop, and I will expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Your lordship, thank you. You've not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled it all. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Looks like we got some items. Or did we give items? Removed from cargo. We gave some items? Of course, your lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than them enforcers. And we will leave no stone unturned. I promise you that. So we have resolved the issue in the lower decks. Hopefully we are done with that, but knowing how things go, probably not completely. We will see.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Got something to look at here. Oh, and got some goods. Hey. This page is where the start of each shift is marked. The last mark is missing because the workers went on strike.
Over there.
Manometer. Tech use 85%.
I do what I must.
The gauge shows that the steam pressure in this pipe is close to maximum. However, it does not reach the bars at the other end. Okay. The heat sink warms the air around it to a scorching temperature. This is the warmest part of the bay. The workers have even dragged deck chairs here. So, cutting off the heat, they just use the environment to their advantage. Very smart. We got some goods here. Another multi-key and some junk. Have another valve.
Keep your wits about you.
Not a useful one at this moment. Why do I feel like we're trying to solve a puzzle here? Alright, let's find us another valve to turn. Nothing here. None of these are interactable.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, got a valve here. And a door. Another valve, more goods, something to see. Inside the box, a string of scratched letters runs along the edge. Different first names, but the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation. Got a machine right set, some junk. Let's try this valve. Nope. Got another one? Nope. Can't go through that door. Oh, got another valve.
What do we have here?
Well, that was valuable. Oh, no it wasn't. We found something. What did we find? I don't know. Okay. A container can be seen beyond the massive bars. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it. Ah, so that's what we're turning valves for. Okay. So did we miss one somewhere? Hmm. Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companions, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please, give us a moment. Abelard looks at you and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to this disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valancius Protectorate? Let's talk about your role in all this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed that it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says irascibly. Remember, Lord Captain Theodora, do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to her grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe, if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard this ship now, and I will not repeat her mistakes. Abelard looks at you, stunned, and exhales loudly. Then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the Von Valancius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order from anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, Lord Captain, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers, scouting voyages. The advancement of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then, suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what's happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in this ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. I understand, Captain Wassarian, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in the new world. A world where Theodora is undoubtedly gone, and where you and I have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment silent, he adds, looking at you with interest. Your resolve is admirable, and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now, please, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. Sweet, but not yet. I am bound and determined to discover the valve situation. Though it would seem the valve situation is bound and determined not to be discovered. Oh, got one over here. Hello. That was a thing that happened. Okay. So let's check these other ones now. No. Heyo. Making our way. So I don't know if these valves that are working are somehow color coded. I mean, I'm seeing blue there. It should be noted for those of you who don't know, and I think most of you don't, because I don't know that I've mentioned it in any of the videos prior to this, but I am mostly colorblind. So if it is truly a color code issue, like this is red, this is blue, I can see that. But shades kind of get to me. That's going to be the final one anyway. So if there's a color situation going on here, I'm just going to completely miss it, and I'm just going to have to trial and error my way through it. Okay. Good. Let's try this one up here again. See if we can finish this off here. Hey, hey. We got goods. Looks like Abelard has a good chance.
Unexpected result.
Indeed. Force grenades, crack grenades? Are we doing drugs here? What's happening? Meta charge, melta charges, because they melta things, I guess, and multi keys. I like it. Give me all. All right, let's get out of here. We have a prison planet to go visit. Holy banana cream pie. Oh, and we need to talk to Argenta and Adira as well. Oh God, we've done so much damn talking. Let's go to the prison planet. We'll do that after the prison planet. Remind me though, don't let me forget. Prison planetoid. Begin scan. Extractium. Interesting. I don't have any, but when I get it, I could deploy it to mine for me. How nice. But we will go to the prison location. Accept. Hey, goods. Thank you. Pilot Raquel.
This could be an opportunity.
Is that a trap? Okay. Come in. Come in, escort. This is Captain Vicari. Escort, please, come in. The pale young woman looks at you with a mixture of hope and disbelief swirling in her eyes. You notice her hands trembling as she clutches her weapon. Who are you? Did you come from the planet? Are you reinforcements? Saints' teeth, I thought you'd never come. Abelard, teach this riffraff the proper way of addressing her sovereign. No, we're not doing that. I am rogue trader Gladius von Valancius. Now, introduce yourself. At once, the woman stands at attention. Captain Raquel Vicari, servant of House Winterscale and the pilot of this shuttle. It is an honor to be greeting His Lordship von Valancius. I have no time for long-winded talks. Lord have mercy, we do not. Brief me on the situation ahead and please be concise. Reporting, there's been a prison riot on the planetoid led by the prison warden himself. My lord Yvain Winterscale, son of rogue trader Caligos Winterscale, went to parley with him. Can a prison riot be led by the warden? Wouldn't that just be a takeover? Or, I mean, he already runs the prison. Okay, I'm confused. The warden is spearheading the riot? Yes, she bites her lip. No one expected this, you think. Master Casteglia is a nobleman from a respected governor house and a vassal to House Winterscale. All of a sudden, he proclaimed that Rakati Philia was now his personal domain, that the prisoners were his subjects, and that he would never bow to anyone again. It's pure heresy. And I take it they're looking forward to a diet of sand and gravel. What kind of madman would start a revolt on a barren rock? Why would young Winterscale have felt the need to parley with the dissidents? She sighs quietly. It's a personal matter. Master Casteglia, the seditious warden, is Lord Yvain's childhood friend. When my lord heard of the riot, the news saddened him greatly, so he rushed here without delay, in hopes of bringing his old friend to his senses, no doubt. The first Winterscale in my memory who prefers to talk first rather than shoot and slash. Young Lord Winterscale is not his father's shadow. If he's determined to save his friend, he won't back down. I pray to the throne he is alive and well. He's been gone for such a long time, and I really don't like this place. Theobald executed his wife and only son on the mere suspicion of treason against House Orselio. So why did the noble Yvain rush to save someone who had betrayed his house? Do bonds of friendship give one the right to make inexcusable mistakes? I'm looking for a man by the name of Heinrix Von Calox. He is here, perhaps? Unless it's one of the prisoners or guards, it seems unlikely. There are no shuttles in working order other than yours and mine. There's nothing else anyone could have used to reach this place. Well, missed the boat on that one. Is there anything else I should be apprised of before I set out? Some of the rebels have holed up in the barracks. I don't know how many, but given this is the only way through to where the negotiations are taking place, I would expect heavy resistance. Please take caution, your lordship. Lord Winterscale's guards mined the entrance so that the rebels couldn't get to the shuttle. I have no more questions. You may excuse yourself, pilot. The woman freezes a moment before asking hesitantly, Your lordship, if I may have a minute of your time? I would never have dared trouble you with a personal matter, but the situation... in any case, have you been to the capital of Rykad Minoris yet? I wanted to ask if you met a man there, a communications officer by the name of Jasper. I have not yet been to Rykad Minoris and know nothing of this officer's fate. That's a shame. May the Emperor keep that fool from harm. Thank you for your time, your lordship. She bows, and you can tell by the desperation in her eyes that she is exhausted, frightened, and wishes to be off this planetoid as soon as possible. Okay, looks like we might have some action here, ladies and gents. Let's disarm the trap.
The Emperor favors me today.
Does he indeed? This guard post has been vacant for a long time. There is a layer of dust on every surface. Moving slowly in case there are other traps, but
I always keep my options open.
Seems like there is not, so let's get moving to the barracks. We're going to have a couple of other people in the fight here that we've not used before, Cabela and Cassia. So I'm assuming there's going to be combat. You know, we're dealing with insurrectionists. That tends to be how that would go. So I'm not entirely sure how we're going to use them. I don't know a lot about their... I know about the Blade Dancer, obviously. I don't really know much about Cassia, so we will discover as we go.
This is intriguing.
Okay.
If I could see the golden light of the Astronomicon as you see it, Cassia, I would probably go still forever, unable to take my eyes off the radiance of the Emperor for an instant.
I think you would manage. You have different hues of light within you. Gold, silver, and crimson. One of them would call you back to this world.
Okay. The remains of a meal, one far too lavish for even a hive world, let alone a prison planet. A long string of names extends beneath the heading. Top quarry workers of the cycle. Okay, we have a trap to disarm. That's going to
I
be
woke up with a
Argenta.
feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Okay. I'm not sure what that was about. Okay, let's send Argenta in to disarm.
Carry the Emperor's will as your torch. I better myself through my service.
And we just leveled up the whole party. Let's do that before we get into a combat. Level 7, here we come, right? Okay. Let's start with Cabela, since I've already got her up here. At level 7, she will take weapon skill, and we will take Blood Rush. Whenever the Blade Dancer uses an ability that costs wounds, they gain +3 movement points in the current turn. And we just picked up an ability that uses wounds. Blood Oath. So the combination of these two abilities work together. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and pop over to my character. I'm going to guess he's going to have something very similar. Level 7. Yes, weapon skill and Blood Rush. It's almost like we're the same character. Brings us to Abelard next. And for level 7, Abelard wants weapon skill, and he wants fleet combat training. Interesting. When the Navy officer scores a critical hit or successfully parries an attack with their primary melee weapon, they immediately make an attack, whichever costs the least attack points, with their secondary weapon against the same enemy. Huh. So if he's got a shotgun, would he then fire the shotgun? I don't know. Interesting. Okay. We'll have to check that one out. We may need to give him he may need to be dual wielding. I don't know that he can. We'll find out. Adira, level 7. She wants pyromancy out of the gate. You hear that? She's trying to take over my job. Pyromancy. Which is very similar to what I'm doing, but I don't use mine much. Of course, she won't either, because she will kill us all. And we are working lore warp with her, I do believe. So we will complete that. Argenta. Level 7. She wants agility. And we want Litany of Hatred. Whenever the Ministorum priest uses War Hymn or Furious Recital, for 1 round, the priests themselves and their allies in a 5-cell radius deal 0 times the number of zeal stacks divided by 2 more weapon damage. This bonus is doubled against demons, psychers, and xenos. Okay. We have not been using War Hymn. We do have it, I think, but we don't use it. Maybe it's Furious Recital that we have. Oh no, we have one of those. And Cassia. Level 7. She will take Reveal the Light. Reveal the Light. The target ally gains plus 22 to their willpower and toughness until the end of the combat. So this is a bonus. And it looks like a really good one for our for Abelard or me. Buff. I said bonus. I meant buff, clearly. Everybody knows that. Okay, number 7. We want Eye of Oblivion. Okay. Every enemy the navigator has in their line of sight has its dodge and hit chance reduced by -6. So if she can see you, you can't do much. I like that. I like that a lot. Move forward slowly, since we've already found a trap in here.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
As we say. And let's pop
Sins
over
hidden
to
in the heart turn
Argenta.
all to decay. Blessed be the road that we take.
Come round. Disarm.
Never doubt me.
No worries. What do we got here? Scraps of typical prison food, repulsive to the senses. No doubt.
Keep your wits about you.
Looks like we've got a gate here. I don't see anyone in there. Let's see what else is going on. Venerable Optimates, the best among us. The list is faded and the names are barely legible. Moving slow, looking for traps.
Is there money to be made?
Looking for enemies.
Your arrogance will be your
Like
downfall.
these.
All of you will bleed!
We've been ambushed. Okay, I knew there had to be guys on this side. I don't know how to deal with them. Can we shoot through the bars? I don't know. Probably, which means they can too, which is not awesome. Okay, we don't get a chance to move because we've been ambushed, so we just have to start where we are. But I go first, which I like. I can come up, and I can get more movement with this, so we will
On it.
target him. I take a little damage, but I get a little more movement. I can step forward. Use Blade Dance. Well, wait a moment. Yeah, Blade Dance.
Who, if not me? Another enemy down.
And then some Death from Above.
It's as good as done.
Death from Above again. Unfortunate. Let's use Blood Oath again.
I'll make it happen.
Wonderful. We will attack.
On it. He never stood a chance.
Getting that health back, which I like. And Death from Above again.
I'll make it happen.
Oh. Okay. We got somebody a little tougher here. Not awesome. We've still got this guy back here, but I can't really do much about that at the moment. So we will Death
I'll
from
see
Above.
to it personally.
And attack. they dodged us. Okay. I think that's got us for this round. It's a good showing by him, though. Cabela now gets her turn to do some very similar bit of kit. Though, unfortunately, I cleared the path. I don't think she has a way to get where she needs to go. So let's get her out of any kind of... What is this? Raining blood. Okay. Well, that's cool, but we can't do that yet. So we will pull her there. And try to... No, I don't want to waste that. We'll just come forward. Get her where she can't be shot easily from this side, because I don't know exactly how that's going to go. And turn. Grenadier is not what I want to see.
Ugh, my ears are ringing.
Oh,
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
yikes. Okay. Not cool, bro. Let's
But
give
of course.
Abelard forewarning. Analyze on these chappies. The Grenadier's the strong one. We will fire on the Grenadier.
Anything else?
And that'll do for her.
Out of my way! I serve the ruinous powers!
Ouch.
Catch my breath.
I keep taking some serious pops. Okay. The only person I have that could use this is right there. And I can't, because I can't see them. Unfortunate, because I would absolutely do that.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
How'd y'all like that action? Let's buff
If only
Cabela.
that were possible.
Too far away. Abelard. And I think we're good for this round. Argenta.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Doubt is for the weak.
Oh, is it just him? I thought there were 3 guys in here. I killed... No, okay, well. Okay,
I'll
well,
do it. Strike with a prayer.
he didn't make it, which is good. He needed very much not to make it. All right, Gladius is back up. So we will step forward and blade dance.
I'll make it happen. The best defense at your end was inevitable. My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
Yeah, my gut tells me that that wasn't ever going to work. Okay. Took those 2 down. I can't heal myself, unfortunately. There's nobody else here. Is that the only person left in this fight? No, there's 2. Where's that one? Oh, hello.
On it.
There we go. All right, Nimble Prisoner's the only one left. They are probably about to come and get me. But I will set them on fire
It's as good as
first.
done.
Because screw them, that's why. Nimble Prisoner. I can't get to them, unfortunately, so we will end. Cabela. Can't get to my character, unfortunately. She went here. Oh, no. Okay. Nothing she can do but get here, I guess. She can use Blood Oath
Trust me.
and move.
An offering of blood.
Wonder how many times we can do this.
No.
Just once. Okay, well, I needed to know that. He is too
I
far
cannot
away.
serve you in this way.
Dang it. Oh, yeah, I can get there. And now we can...
I will mend the thread between body and soul.
Aha.
I'll make sure to return the favor one day.
Beautiful. Now we're done.
On to slaughter someone.
Adira?
They who discern the future own the battlefield.
Oh, Adira, come on, man.
On it.
Okay. Abelard. Can we charge?
A
Yes.
tactically sound approach.
I thought so.
At
Abelard,
your beck and call.
you are killing me,
Victory
bro.
is imminent.
Cassia. No, because Abelard screwed it up. I don't have good options for you. Oh, I can have you...
Do not dare ask.
Come on, man.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Wonderful. There we go. Perfect. And we got through that with any... We got broken ribs, but that actually helps my character to a degree. So, wonderful. We have basic knives. They don't look to be great. I will hang on to one. I'm not using the stub revolver I already have, and it's specialized. I will take the force grenade, though. What else do we have here? Nice. We'll have a look at that. Bare beds made from metal sheets swing back and forth on rusted chains. Whoever is forced to sleep on them, it would not take much for them to fall. Okay. Goods. Ha ha ha! I swear the Emperor hasn't forsaken me. Guess who just came down the shuttle gangway among the fresh batch of prisoners? Clemson throne damned Willia, former administratum clerk, no, the clerk. The very same scum who lost the writ about the missing payment. He's the reason I'm in this hole. Don't know what they threw him in for, but I've never felt better in my life. He's not just behind the same bars as me, he's fresh meat. And I'm a venerable optimist, respected by everyone in the colony. The warden just came up with a new improvement. From now on, anyone who underperforms, misbehaves, or causes trouble any other way is to be punished by the community, specifically by the local best and brightest. Yours truly, the Optimates. The last two sods who failed to meet the quota were stripped naked, whipped, and thrown into cages in the big barracks. That's where they have to eat, sleep, and shit, now with everyone watching. I thought to myself then, that isn't right. They've taken these punishments too far. But now? Oh, just you wait, you piece of grok shit. I'll get you for something. Those cages are calling your name. Okay, Prison Diary Part 2. Where is Prison Diary Part 1? Did we miss it earlier? We'll have to go back and look. The beds here are bolted to the floor. Some have thin, torn bed sheets and even tattered pillows. Bom, bom, bom. at them. These cages have been placed in plain view of the beds. Inside are traces of blood and excrement. Yeah, we just read about those. Hey-oh, there's what I was looking for, I think. Gas cloud grenade. That would have been useful earlier. Okay. We've read that already. Oh, here are some goods. And looks like a diary page too, so. Yeah, Prison Diary of Ati Shan, Part 1. Grok shit, why me? Why? I missed my tithe payment 12 years ago. 12 years. The inspector's writ got lost somewhere in the bowels of the planetary administratum and was lying there this whole time, but they made sure to remember to tack on the fines every month. By the time they found the blasted paper and finally informed me, the total sum was so obscene it would take 3 generations of my descendants, if I had any, to pay it off. My fate was sealed. Trial, sentence, prison. All because of some daft rotter who shoved my paper in the wrong box. To be fair, I think I got off pretty easy. My bed in the barracks is about as hard as that slab of rockcrete I've got at home. Working in the quarry isn't much tougher than my old job, and the rules, void take me, that old sod that governs Rykad Minoris is a bloody sadist by comparison. It's a strange old place. I haven't been beaten once yet. The guards bark orders all the time, but they never hit us. They got this kind of inner circle of special chosen prisoners, the optimatum they call it. If you can get in, Emperor, as my witness, you get an actual day off. They let you out of your cell and into the yard by the big barracks. I tell you what, they let you rest there and feed you better than whatever swill they're giving us in the canteen. They told me it's to improve our motivation and all, to foster a stronger desire to reform and become a worthy servant of the Imperium once more. But I know it for what it truly is. It's just a club for the warden's favorites. The same story as everywhere else. Suck up to the people in power and get some swanky perks. They say the whole thing was the warden's idea. Funny man, our warden. He looks more noble than nobility itself. Tall, groomed, teeth even, eyes burning, boots so polished you can see yourself when you move to lick 'em. But that nutter doesn't much want people licking his boots. He walks around looking like he's deep in thought. All right, with only a couple of guards at his side, and he sometimes, if you can believe it, talks to prisoners. "What's your name?" he asks them all quiet like. "Why were you condemned? Do you feel remorse?" He never even yells at anyone, never orders to have them flogged. Instead, he doles rewards out to the special ones. Keeps telling us things like how we should strive to make society believe in us again. Whatever you say, Master Warden. Starting tomorrow, I'll be trying to join these optimates of yours. I'm stuck in here till the day I die, and that means no return to society for me. But, with the Emperor's help, I might just join the ranks of the local elite. And then part 2 proves that he did join the ranks of the local elite and immediately began to abuse that power. Completely lack of surprise on my part, because as they say, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. All right, folks, I think that's going to be good enough for now. We have landed on the prison planetoid. We have begun the opportunity to discover what's going on here, fought our way through an ambush, almost got our main character killed, but we found our way through that. And yeah, so very, very good stuff going on here. Finally got a combat with all the talking last time. Holy cow. But we made it through. And guys, I really appreciate you going on this journey with me. Make your way with love and light. This has been Disabled. I have been Ed. And this has been Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Thank you very much, and goodbye.